Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four retro-carded She-Hulk. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And of course, we've seen this packaging before. Retro Fantastic Four, and of course, Marvel Comics, the nice logo. 4-and-up Fantastic Four, and there's the logo with some fake prismatic coloring in there instead of it being actual foil. And then here we have that artwork that's more of the animated show, I think. Worrying, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Then we have a nice big blister showcasing the figure and accessories. It says She-Hulk right there, and there's a nice piece of artwork there showcasing She-Hulk in her Fantastic Four uniform. On the bottom, just that piece of paper. Side. Really nothing going on there. Hasbro print, and there's the assortment number if you need that kind of thing. Then on the back, we've got Marvel Fantastic Four, and again, that artwork, but you know, blown up. And then here's an illustration of, you know, parts, bits, and the figure. She-Hulk. When the Thing chooses to take a leave of absence from the team, the sensational She-Hulk puts her prodigious strength to the test as a member of the Fantastic Four. There it is again in some other languages I don't read. Recycle that thing, Hasbro print. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, especially don't stick it in your French pie hole. And then we have small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and her accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at smaller accessories. And we'll start with the hands. And there are 2 extra sets of hands. This set is the grip set for the dumbbells. And I don't know that we've seen this particular hand before. We may have. I don't recall it though. It's on an in and out hinge, molded in white plastic, and you know, it has glove details on it, I guess you could say. And there's 2 of those, a left one and a right one. Other than that, they're pretty much the same. And they're also, I think they're at a bit of an angle. So that's something new. And then here's a thumbs up on in and out hinge. This one I'm pretty sure we have not seen before. And you know, nice little molded details in it. I mean, what there are, there's not a lot. But it looks like a gloved hand. And then here's the peace sign or victory if you're in Japan. Again, in and out hinge, nice molded details, and again, I don't think we've seen this particular hand before. So, some new stuff. And then speaking of new stuff, these dumbbells are new. You know, seems like they would have just kind of borrowed from the G.I. Joe Classified series library and used Big Boa's dumbbells, but I guess they wanted something a little more for Jen. Not that these are doing much for her. Now, not to say that in universe these wouldn't be heavy to a normal person, but to the She-Hulk, it really doesn't look like much. But it's nice that we're getting a new set piece, I guess. And it does have nice molded details. If you look in there on the handle, it's got some grippy looking stuff, you know, that those weight bars have embedded into them, I guess you could say. And, you know, a little bit of silver paint wouldn't have killed you, Hasbro. And next up, I don't know why I set the tweezers down. Here we have the alternate head sculpt. And I have to say, it's pretty nice. Not my favorite look for the character, but, you know, not bad. Seems like the lower lip missed some color there. But on the top lip, there's a little bit on the lower lip, but it's not, it's just like on the outside edge. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be intentional or if it's just screwed up. But it does look a little screwed up. And she does have a little smirk on her face too. Around the eyes, between the eyes and the eyebrows, there's a little bit of shading there, which I'm guessing is supposed to be some kind of makeup. And looks like a lot on this side, not so much on this side, but it could be because this eyebrow it's arched up and the other one is not. And I have to say, the eyes are a nice green and some nice eyelashes decoed on there, which I'm sure is all inkjet. The hair I think is a separate piece glued on, and it does have some wash in it to help the strand of hair details kind of stand out. She does have a port in the back of her head, and what that's for is this piece of hair right here with nice molded details. Again, it's got a nice wash in it to help all those details stand out, and it looks pretty good. And you notice it's got a post on it right there, and that's supposed to be like a scrunchie or hairband or something. So a little bit of paint right there wouldn't have killed you, Hasbro, would it? Probably. It killed the budget because we had new pieces in here. So anyway, port in the head, post on the hair, and a little bit of pressure and it'll pop right in there. And also, once the hair's in there, it's not like stuck or anything like that. There is some movement to it. It does rotate 180 degrees for some posability. Now let's take a look at the figure herself, and if you've seen the last She-Hulk figure, then you know there's not a lot of new going on here other than the paint. So instead of her traditional costume, she's wearing the Fantastic Four costume. It's got a nice tampo there of the four. Some white paint here, some white paint here, and I'm assuming green paint right in there. But I could be wrong. It could be molded all in green. Who knows? Then we've got some nice paint here for the glove tops. And then I think this whole boot and foot is molded in white. These legs up to this point are all molded in green, and the arms are molded in green, and then you got this white paint app, unless of course the green is the paint app. They've been tricking me some here lately. Now as far as the hair goes, nice sculpted details just like the last one, and again it does have a nice wash in it just like the last one. I don't know if they changed the face deco up any, but it still looks nice. Nice color for the teeth, the lips, and it looks like the lower lip is the same as the other head. I don't know if it's they missed some of it. I don't know what's exactly going on. Again, the eyes look nice, got some eyeshadow going on there, I guess, and paint for the eyebrows. The hair, of course, is a separate piece glued on. So this is the look I really like more for her than this one. But, you know, this one isn't bad either. If you want a little bit more posability out of it, you put this head on and take that one off, because there's not a lot of posability with this head. So let's take a look, with that said, at the articulation. She looks down that far, and the head is on a dumbbell, it looks like. So down that far, she doesn't look up any. She can do the full exorcist though. She's got a little bit of chicken neck. She's got a little bit of waggle. Waggle, waggle. Waggle, waggle, waggle. So that's pretty good. At the shoulder, 360 degrees of rotation. No butterfly, unfortunately. And she can raise her arm up at the shoulder approximately 90 degrees. It's a cut here at the upper bicep, 360 degrees of rotation there. At the elbow, it's double jointed or double hinged and pinless, and it gives you that much bend. And then at the wrist, 360 degrees of rotation on in and out hinge. And it kind of looks like these fists might be in an angle too. I didn't notice that about the last one. So cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet. It gives her some hula. She can lean left and right. She can lean back that far and crunch forward about that far. 360 degrees of rotation there, because of course there is nothing in the waist. At the hips, she can give you that much of the splits, which is pretty darn good. For Marvel Legends, that is. She can kick forward that far, not quite 90 degrees, so not bad. And her leg goes back that far, if that's back at all, because green booty is in the way. Cut here at the upper thigh, 360 degrees worth of rotation there, and double hinged pinless knee, and it will give you that much bend. At the top mid shin, there's a boot cut for another 360 degrees of rotation. And then at the ankle, it tilts down that far, it tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. And there you have it, my friends. That is a look at the figure and her accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four retro carded She-Hulk with the Marvel Legends series Iron Man retro carded She-Hulk, the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four retro carded Mr. Fantastic, the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four retro carded Invisible Woman, and the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four retro carded Johnny Storm. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four retro carded She-Hulk, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series Fantastic Four retro carded She-Hulk, I have to say, you know, it took long enough to get a Fantastic Four uniform on She-Hulk from when they did the She-Hulk from the Iron Man retro carded. It took too long. Those should have been coming out, you know, 1 month and then 2 months. You know, a month later or so. My opinion, of course. Your mileage, of course, may vary. But I like this mold for She-Hulk. Same exact mold as Iron Man retro carded wave. It's just decoed up Fantastic Four style. And of course, she did get, you know, a good bit of new accessories. I think all 4 of the hands that she got, not counting the ones on the figure, but the 2 sets of additional hands, I think were all new. The dumbbells were new, and the alternate head sculpt was a new sculpt. And, you know, I'm glad they included that head. I probably won't use it because this is the look I think of when I think She-Hulk, with her hair just cascading down her back. But I understand, you know, posing wise and stuff like that, yeah, that head's gonna work a lot better, the alternate head, than this one. You can't really do a whole heck of a lot because of that hair, but to me it looks great. That's the way she should look. And I'm glad we finally got another Fantastic Four retro carded figure. Even if it's the She-Hulk, it's not a new one. But she did get some new parts, so there is that. I would like to see, especially with the movie out and apparently doing pretty well, I would like to see some more Fantastic Four retro card figures. Not necessarily a wave, but some new figures. I would like to see a comic book Mole Man. They haven't done that one in quite a while, and it definitely needs an update. I would like to see Ben Grimm, or the Thing, when he mutates and becomes more rocky and spiky. I would love to see him do that figure, along with the Sharon Ventura. Is that her name? I think that's her. I'm pretty sure that's her name. Miss Marvel. And the Sharon Ventura She-Thing. I would like to see all 4 of those done. And I'm sure there's some other, you know, that you could build out a wave, maybe even 2 waves, over what they haven't done in Fantastic Four. A re-release of those Walgreens figures, or updated versions of those Walgreens figures, would be nice with the blue and black. But I honestly say, when I think of Fantastic Four, it's the blue and white is what I think of. That's, you know, that's the one that I enjoyed the most. The reading those the most. Has nothing to do with that horrible cartoon from the 90s. It wasn't great. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and hate on it, but it's not my favorite thing to watch, so I don't watch it. I tried to watch it a couple of times, along with Hulk and Silver Surfer, and those just weren't good. So, but yeah, I would definitely I love Fantastic Four. I would love to see them continue this retro carded line, comic book style. I don't need any MCU figures, but I'm sure we will get some more, because that's, you know, MCU sales. And, you know, I don't want to deprive MCU collectors, because there's people out there that collect all the Marvel Legends, comics, MCU, what have you, Gamerverse, all of that stuff. And then there's those of us that collect only the comic book figures, or only the MCU, or only the Gamerverse, or, you know, mix it up a little bit. So, you know, I don't want to deny those people that want to collect MCU figures, but my personal preference is that I would like to see the retro carded comic book line continue based on the success of the movie. And I know, you know, some of those, like the more rocky, spiky Thing, you know, that's a little off the beaten path. Some people might not enjoy that, but, you know, I think it's good, and it would be another new mold. They might could reuse the crotch section of the retro carded Thing for the rockier, spikier one. They might be able to. I don't know. But, You know, I definitely want to see that. And She-Thing, the Sharon Ventura of Ms. Marvel. If they make that one, yeah, I'll pick it up. If they don't, I'm not going to cry over it either. You know, she spent more time really as She-Thing than anything else. But yeah, definitely those two. Definitely a Mole Man. Mad Thinker, that would be cool. Puppet Master. I know it's just a sickly, frail looking old man, but what? Yeah, we need a figure of the Puppet Master. You know, he's one of the, besides Doctor Doom, he's one of the enemies of Fantastic Four that shows up a lot. Mole Man, Doctor Doom, Puppet Master, Mad Thinker, the Frightful Four. Although I'm not exactly sure what team for that, but I think they've done a Wizard, but it's probably time for an updated Wizard. And here I am just rambling on about stuff I'd like to see, rather than this great figure right here. So, if you're a She-Hulk fan, if you're a Fantastic Four fan, if you're a Marvel Legends comic book fan, then this figure is for you. And if you're only part of them things, maybe this figure's still for you. And if you're none of those things, just go ahead and pass it on by. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.